His latest book, My 20 Golden Rules, was voted Best Health and Wellbeing Book in the Whitcoul's Top 100 list for 2015. Hello.
Hello.
Here to show us how to make a green velvet smoothie, we welcome health researcher Jason Sean Bennett. Hello.
Hello.
It's lovely to see you and all your goodness. Yeah, I expected nothing less.
I know.
No sugar on this table.
Yeah.
Before we kind of get into it, because it's all kind of made up and ready to go, tell me about you and your kind of struggles with health and the things that went wrong with you that you then corrected.
Yeah, well, I was born, we go right back. I was born at 7 months, so a little 2 pound 9 bubba. Very unwell. I developed asthma and hay fever. I was on 16 shots of Ventolin a day for 20 years. Wow. Intel prevention, steroid injections. I was in and out of hospital, incubators, and I was told it was genetic. You know, take the drugs. We can't do anything for you. So age 20, which was in the mid-80s now, I decided to start changing my diet and lifestyle and just see if I could actually have an impact. You know.
So what did you change initially?
I became vegetarian. You know, I started learning from my ancient grandmother who lived to 104. She had great wisdom. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Started changing my routine and my rhythm, my exercise, what I did, how much I ate, how little I ate, regular fasting. You know, I really started researching, and over about 5 years, I cured everything. So I'm now almost 50. I haven't had a cold or a bug or a flu for 30 years. I never get sick.
You look about 30. That's ridiculous.
Oh, thank you. But you know, I'm a grandfather now too. I've got grandkids, and that's kind of exciting as well. And kind of you need energy for that as well.
So you sort of used yourself as a bit of an experiment, I suppose, in a way.
I did. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I did. And I tell you, it's so good to feel good after being so well. And I haven't had Ventolin now for 20 years.
Okay, so you haven't had Ventolin for 20 years. Have you had anything naughty?
No.
Anything, like anything bad, like anything that we would consider treat food and that most of us probably eat every day?
Yes, absolutely. Look, my weakness is a bit of dark chocolate or a chocolate Afghan. You know, for a birthday over special treat. That's actually it for me. Yeah.
Okay, so you still you dabble a little bit.
I do.
But like 90% of the time, life is this kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And the key thing, once you get well and you feel well, you don't want to ever go back.
No.
You know, literally, and that's why I've written the books. And because so many people have asked me over the years, how do you stay as well as you do over time, sustainably? And that's the trick, you know, because it's easy. And dabbling's okay a little bit occasionally, but most of the time, eating well, it's worth it. So worth it.
Do you get sick much, like colds and stuff like that?
No, not one cold for 25 years.
Oh,
not one day off.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So it's 20 golden rules. We can't go all through 20, but what would be, you know, a couple of key things?
Well, one is a key thing is a plant-based whole food diet. So mostly plants, mostly whole foods. And this is a great example of mostly plants, you know, mostly whole foods as in their natural state. And of course, the smoothie we're going to make, there's nothing added, there's no sugar, there's nothing.
They're things that would rot, aren't they?
They are, exactly. Things that would rot.
It's not in cardboard.
Real foods your grandparents would recognise, essentially. And it's easy to do. And the good thing is, if you eat seasonally and you eat mostly plants like this, it's actually low cost as well.
Well, because that's the other thing. A lot of people think it's hugely expensive.
It's not. Like a bowl of lentils and rice done beautifully with spices and herbs and a lovely salad. Cheap as chips.
So you've dressed that up, done beautifully with spices and herbs. Because that's the thing with lentils, you have to say that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
don't you?
Exactly.
So what's in your green smoothie?
Well, we've got a mixture of things here. We've got, you know, the leafy greens, which are the most important thing, and most of us are getting about 2% a day now intake of leafy greens.
And what should we be getting?
Oh, about 30%.
Really?
Massive intake.
So
through human evolution.
If we were literally to hold this, should we eat this much a day?
Absolutely.
That
minimum.
much?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, 2 meals a day, probably a 30 plate leafy greens. And what I've done is we've got that in here, and what we've got is an apple in here, we've got a lime, bit of avocado, banana, and a whole lot of leafy greens.
So that's an easy way to do it, to eat a lot of it, is to mush it up,
It's a great way to do it. We do it with the kids at home. I get home in the afternoon, you know, and I'll put that, I'll stuff it in, you know, I'll literally stuff half of it with silver beetle, kale, spinach, some water, a little bit of fruit to give it, you know, a nice buzz. Blend it up, give it to the kids, and they'll have, you know, as much greens in there as most kids get in a week.
You see, I guess your kids have grown up with it, have they?
They have.
They have, so they know no different.
Yes.
Except for mine.
Not so much. I know, but you get the amazing thing is this tastes amazing. It really does.
Does it? Okay.
It's slowly changing their habits. It's taking them from this kind of mixture to this kind of mixture. It's slowly changing their habits.
And it's changing what the new normal is. You're finding a new normal. Stuff that you should be doing every day.
And once they hit teenagehood, you know, my kids are two of my kids are adults now. But once they hit teenagehood and they start to get skin problems, and you can show them how eating well,
give me some tips on that.
Skin.
I've got a 13-year-old. Give me some tips on that.
Look,
just
like
this.
A green smoothie for a start. And, you know, breakfast as well. You know, breakfast is crucial First breakfast, the meal.
First meal of the day, yeah.
As breakfast.
And so what would you feed your kids, or what do you have?
Well, they either have oats or porridge or millet, one of the three.
Okay.
And they've had that their whole life and they love it. It's such a good way to start the day.
And it's probably a slow burn, keeps them
keeps them going,
energy
it
and
lowers cravings, gives them energy. It's a wonderful thing to do.
Okay, let's whiz that thing.
Let's whiz that
see what
thing,
it looks
right,
like.
so
I'm picking it's going to look green.
Yep, so we're going to turn that up, yep. So it's simply a blend. Kind of starting to blend up and chop up here. Yeah. So you can see all that happening. And then once you start to see this, then you're good to go.
Are we eating too much food?
We are eating too much food, absolutely. Throughout history, generally, we didn't eat one day a week because there wasn't food. You know, there wasn't a supermarket, there wasn't a petrol station everywhere.
Right, you know? and because you're a bit of an advocate of days of fasting, eh?
I am indeed, but I call it regular intelligent fasting. It's very, very different. Regular intelligent fasting is when you literally don't eat anything apart from some vegetable juice.
Yeah, is that considered vegetable juice, or is that a bit too much?
No, this is a blend. So blending is when you put it all together and you blend it up and you retain all the goodness of the food and the fibre. I know, phenomenal, isn't it? And there's no sugar, nothing added. Oh,
that is so good. Like, I make green smoothies, but I don't make them that good. What's the key ingredient to that? It just gives it that little bit of... Maybe it's the apple, I don't know. Oh, my goodness. It is so yum. Well, look,
good, isn't it?
There are 20 golden rules in that, and it's a bestseller, and it's on the Whitcoulds Top 100 and all of that. Oh, well done, you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You're living proof of it.
You got to walk
50.
the talk.
What the... Divine. Cheers to you. Thank you so much, Jason.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, you can find Jason's book, My 20 Golden Rules in Bookstores, and you can head to our website for more information. If you read it, you'll look like him. If you're a man. Coming up very soon, the Katinas are back with more of their soulful sounds right after this from Mel.